Houston, CNN. Harvey is no longer a hurricane, but life-threatening flooding continued in and around Houston on Sunday night as citizens with boats assisted authorities in search and rescue efforts. Flooding from Tropical Storm Harvey is overburdening resources in the country's fourth-largest city, prompting authorities to call on volunteers with watercraft for help in rescuing those trapped in homes and buildings. An immediate respite from Harvey's wrath seems unlikely to come. The National Weather Service calls the flooding unprecedented, and warns things may become more dire if a forecasted record-breaking 50 inches of rain does fall on parts of Texas in coming days. In anticipation of a worsening situation, Dallas is turning its main convention center into a mega-shelter that can host 5,000 evacuees. The rainfall threatens to exacerbate an already dangerous situation, as Harvey's rains have left many East Texas rivers and bayous swollen to their banks or beyond. The breadth and intensity of this rainfall are beyond anything experienced before, the Weather Service said. Catastrophic flooding is now underway and expected to continue for days. The storm killed 2 people in Texas, authorities said, and the death toll will likely rise. More than 1,000 people were rescued overnight, and Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner warned that some 911 calls are going unanswered as operators give preference to life-threatening calls. A woman who drove her vehicle into high water in Houston was killed, and fire killed a man in Rockport. Several states and the U.S. military are sending emergency workers and equipment to Texas. In Harris County, though, authorities are having issues mobilizing those resources. "We've requested boats, all the things that would normally happen in a well-planned response to an event like this, but they can't get here," Harris County Judge Ed Emmett said. Dallas announced its plans to open a mega-shelter capable of accommodating 5,000 evacuees at the Kay Bailey Hutchison Convention Center. County officials, charitable groups and local hospitals are working to open the shelter by Tuesday morning. While Turner warned the rain could exacerbate flooding for 4 to 5 days, Federal Emergency Management Agency Director Brock Long said he expects his agency is going to be there for years. The Houston Independent School District has canceled school for the week. Houston's George Bush Intercontinental and William P. Hobby airports are closed until further notice, officials said. Corpus Christi International reopened at 4 p.m. Sunday, officials said. Jack Brooks Regional Airport in Beaumont, Ellington Airport in Houston, Mustang Beach Airport in Port Aransas and McCampbell Porter Airport in Aransas Pass are also temporarily closed, the Federal Aviation Administration says. Ben Taub Hospital, which houses a Level I trauma center, is being evacuated after flooding in the basement disrupted the power source, Emmett said. 316,000 customers have lost electricity, Governor Greg Abbott said. The Red Cross is serving about 130,000 meals a day, the governor said. President Donald Trump will travel to Texas on Tuesday, Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said. Among those stranded by the storm is Afeah Shatibu, 30, who spoke to CNN from her aunt's house in Dickinson, not far from Galveston Bay. Along with her fiancé, grandparents, a friend and several teenagers, Shatibu is trapped on the second floor of the house as floodwaters creep up the staircase. She can see the rooftops of submerged cars in driveways, she said. On the first floor, the water is up to her waist, she said. Emergency services know she and 10 others are holed up in the home, she said, but because emergencies take priority, she doesn't expect to be rescued until tomorrow, Shatibu said. "We're nervous to stay here, but we are sleeping in shifts," she said. "Now we're having to deal with sewage in the water, river water, bayou water, water moccasins, snakes, gators." Not far away, a rescue operation saved 20 to 25 residents of La Vita Bella assisted living facility in Dickinson. They were up to their waist, Galveston County Commissioner Ken Clark said. If they were in a wheelchair, they could have been up to their neck. After a record 22 inches fell on the county in one day, rescuers set out before dawn Sunday to save those who braved the storm. Officials quickly realized they did not have enough boats for the rescue operations and asked private boat owners to help, said County Judge Mark Henry, responsible for disaster response in the county. As of Sunday evening, between 800 and 1,200 people had been rescued from their homes in Galveston County, Henry said. As authorities warned people not to take shelter in attics, unless they have axes handy to break through their roofs, several residents provided CNN with their accounts of riding out the storm. "We are still stranded in our home with little kids and the water keeps rising," H.